Live. Right, we're going live. Yes, and I have action. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday night's pub quiz. Straight from my lounge. Weather's been good today, but not good enough to go al fresco, unfortunately. So I am sat in front of my computer at home. We've got 6 tricky rounds of trivia coming up to keep you all busy and entertained, let's hope, tonight. Now then, let's just see who we've got joining us tonight. First off, welcome Julie. Julie Ashcroft has done the quiz on a Tuesday night, and she seems a very good adversary. So good evening to you, Julie. We've never done this before. Basically, we have 6 straightforward rounds of general knowledge questions. You mark your own answers, and you total up your score, and we have a running total after each round, a running total. So basically, after round 1, you might have 13. Round 2, you'll have 23. Don't give me individual scores because I'm not scoring it. Everybody puts their own scores in as we go. Right, evening to Michelle Gibbons and the gang from Crick. Hope all is well with you and the family. How many of you are doing it tonight then, Michelle? I presume you're not on your own, but let's see how you fare tonight. And good evening, Faye. Faye's just logged in. She says, hi, Nick. Hi, Lydia. Hope you're both well. We're both pretty well at the moment. That's been a nice day today. I took my granddaughter out for a little spin in the car today. And we had a great time, but never mind. Good evening to Martin and Tina, logging in from sunny Dunchurch. Well, it's not so sunny now, is it? It's a bit grey at the moment, but apparently we've got some great weather coming for later this week. And I've managed to, well, the wife persuaded me we needed to plan a little trip up to Yorkshire and back. So we're going up. I'll be back for Sunday's quiz, surprisingly, but there you go. So I'm having a 3-day trip away and back to see how far it is and test our electric car out. That should be fun, shouldn't it? If I get stuck on the motorway somewhere, I might be asking somebody for a lift back. But never mind. Jackie's just signing. Good evening, Jackie. Hope all is well with you. And you're all keeping well. Now then, beer tonight. I can see a flagon over on my left-hand side, on my right-hand side. I've got my wife to put the glass out in a minute. We'll see what delights we've got tonight. I think we're drinking some Ossett Gold tonight. I think it's Ossett Gold. It was on in the pub at the weekend, and of course, it needs finishing off. So what better way than an evening quiz to get it going? Right. So we've just had Harry join us. So Harry, Julian, and Ian have all logged in. Harry was making me get out my drive rather awkwardly the other day as he was weeding the front garden opposite. So good evening to Harry, Julia, and Ian. Let's see how you all fare tonight. Again, 6 rounds of dead easy trivia. Round number 1 tonight is entitled Wednesday the 29th. As always, we use the first letters of the word Wednesday, first 2 numbers of 2 and 9, and the first 2 letters TH to end it off, which gives us a possible 13 answers. And they are the first letters of all your answers, or numbers, as the case may be. Round number 2 tonight is entitled The Sun. The Sun. Something to do with the sun. I don't tell you what type of sun or which sun or whatever else. It might be Whitsun, for instance. You don't know. Somewhere in the question or the answer will be something to do with the sun. Round number 3, we all know jolly well, a trivia trail. A trivia trail is basically 10 questions where the last letter of question number 1 is the first letter of question number 2. Till we get to question 10, where the last letter of question 10 is the first letter of your answer to question 1. Right, we've now got 30 teams logged in so far and more joining us as we go. And let's get on to round 4. Round 4 tonight is entitled Rhyming Pairs. 10 answers, where 5 answers rhyme with another 5 answers. That's pretty straightforward going. A rhyming round. It's not too tricky, the rhyming round. In fact, I think the hardest round tonight is probably the trivia trail, but we'll see when we get there. Right, we've got Mick and Bev Roberts have just joined us from sunny Bilton. Good evening, Mick. Hope all is well with you and Bev. I presume you're still working from home. I don't know. You must be, I'm sure. Semi-retired bloke like you. Well, nearly. And John Potter's just joined us. Good evening, John. Hi, Nick. Still not working. Oh, well, that's fair enough. Oh, Did it not go well at the tribunal then, or what's happened? We will see. Andrew Lewis has just joined us from sunny Lutterworth this evening. So evening to Andrew. Hope all is well with you and the family. You're keeping well and raring to go for yet another quiz. We have now totaled 35. I think it's quiz 35 tonight. Oh, sorry, Yelvertoft. I don't know why I keep saying Lutterworth when I mean Yelvertoft. And Alex has just joined us again. Good evening, Alex. Hope all is well with you and you're enjoying your stay up north. He's joining us again from Keswick, from sunny. What is the weather like in Keswick? I think there you're expecting a little bit of rain over that area, but I'll be interested to let me know and see how we're doing. Jed and Tracy have just joined us from sunny Burton-on-Trent. Good evening to you. Hope all is well with you and ready to do battle again tonight. You'll be getting the hang of this quiz now, so it should get easier as you understand how the rounds work. And yeah, John's saying they're still thinking about it. Well, it can't be that much wrong. It can't be a serious disciplinary action, getting your finger cut, can it? God, blimey. Actually, that's quite nice out there. Yeah, I'll just show you my glass of foaming ale. This is Ossett's, I can't remember what it was called. Oh, yes, Ossett's Gold. Right, Carol, Home Alone 6 are all here and celebrating Glenn's birthday. Yes, let's have a big happy birthday to Glenn. Happy birthday, Glenn. I hope all is well with you and you've had a cracking day. What I was saying, you've had a good day. Why on earth have they inflicted my quiz upon you then, or is it just a bit of a laugh to finish the day off? Have you had a few beers? That's the more important thing. And or have you had a nice evening out or dinner out today? I don't know. You'll have to let me know. But right, great to see Carol and the gang have all joined us, and as has Sarah. Sarah's now joined us from sunny Worcester and the gang. So I hope all is well with you. Vanessa's just joined us again from Burton. So two teams from Burton-on-Trent tonight. And Robin's just joined us. Who's doing the loud DIY in the background? I think that's the wife and Lydia tapping away on a computer. And oh, no, they're trying to get some ice out of a container or something, but it's all stuck in. Bring it here and I'll have a go for you. Apparently they won't come out. The ice cubes won't come out. She bought this brand new ice container and it's proving tricky. Now it's my fault, of course, because I filled it up. Oh dear. Never mind. Adnam's broadside is going down nicely. Yes, I like a nice pointed broadside. Did I tell you, Carol, me and Angela are off to York tomorrow. We're travelling north just for a couple of days, and then we thought we'd go up to Scarborough and Whitby, and then back down to Ashbourne in Ashover in Derbyshire. My wife's always correcting me because I always get it wrong, but never mind. So, yeah, we're having 3 nights away and testing out the range of our electric car, see how far it'll go. Might break down as soon as we probably get this big red warning light, stop, or something like this. But we should be able to get to York, and hopefully the charger's not knackered, so we should be all right. Right, Pick and Mix have just joined us. Good evening, Pick and Mix. Hope all is well with you and the gang. We've now got 37 teams logged on, 38 teams logged on, raring to go. I'll just run through those rounds again because I never actually finished. Round number 1 is entitled Wednesday the 29th. Wednesday the 29th. Round number 2 is entitled The Sun, something to do with the sun, either in the question or in the answer. Question number 3 is a trivia trail. Question number 4 is rhyming pairs. 10 answers. 5 of the answers rhyme with the other 5 answers. Round number 5 is entitled Chain Letters. Chain Letters is very similar to Trivia Trail, but instead of using the last letter, you can use the last 1, 2, or 3, become the first, second, or third of the next answer. And finally, of course, round number 6, normally a testing round to try and catch a few of the smarter teams out. A bit of general tricky trivia. Unfortunately, Sunday night, it didn't catch PRS out. They managed to get all of them right, which I thought was an impossible round. And if I thought it was impossible, obviously we all wanted to good blind guesses, but good teams tend to guess well as well. That's what it's all about. Right, then, with just a few minutes to go. let's just go through last week's winners. We had the scores on the doors last Wednesday, this is. We had 3 teams in joint first place, according to my records. We had Split the Difference, PRS, and the Quizzy Rascals, all ending up with 61 points out of a possible 63. So they only dropped 2 points all quiz long. That's ongoing. Yeah, complete guesswork. It may well have been, Matty, but it was good guessing all the same. In joint, the Famous Five came in 4th place, effectively. So you've got 3 teams on 61. Then the 4th team to finish in the points on 58.5 were the Famous Five. Closely followed by Michelle and the gang from Crick on 56.5 and Chilly Willy on 56. And then we had a number of 55s and a few of us. So, right, Chilly Willy has just joined us all alone tonight. Come on, Chilly. I've just mentioned you. You were in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. I think you came 5th with 56 points last week, Chilly. So let's see whether you can beat your 56 points from last week. Home Alone were just out of the running last week. I think they ended up with 55. But yeah, it was a good tight competition last Wednesday. So let's see how. And they're talking of the Famous Five. They've just checked in. As I said, the Famous Five, basically there were 3 teams out in the lead last week on 61 points. Famous Five came in 4th place on 58.5 points. So good evening to Val Barnes from the Quizzy Rascals. Good evening to Chilly Willy. Good evening, Matthew. And PRS, of course. And good evening to Hillary and the gang, the Famous Five. Have you got a full team tonight, the Famous Five? It obviously makes a big difference if you have. Teams that don't take part on a Sunday, we don't normally have the Rugby Rotary Club, and we don't normally have Don Quixote, don't normally do the Wednesday night quizzes. They like doing their Sunday night, which is just that little bit more popular. But never mind, it's something to keep all your brains going and something to do while we're all sat at home doing Sweet FA, basically. But never mind. Well, the pubs have been open now for 3 weeks. We actually went out for Sunday lunch, which was a change. First time out in about 4 months, I think, Sunday lunch. Something like that. We had a very nice evening. Right then, we now have 3 minutes to kick off. Round number 1, as I mentioned, is entitled Wednesday, the 29th. So if you'd like to write down the word Wednesday, top to bottom, the left-hand column, vertically down, WEDNESDAY, 29TH. They are the first letters and or numbers of the first 13 answers. Chris Meads has just signed in, so good evening, Chris and the gang. So that's Split the Difference have joined us. So we've got Split the Difference, we've got the Quizzy Rascals, PRS, Michelle Gibbons and the gang from Crick and Chilly Willy. So last week's top 5 have all joined us, along with Famous Five, including Famous Five and Home Alone. So it's going to be a tight competition as usual. Let's see who can get a magnificent. Yeah, we did have a full house Sunday. One team managed to get 60 out of 60. As I said, it was an impossible last round, so they must have done some good guessing. But never mind. Just on a couple of the questions. The rest were okay. They're not all guess questions, obviously. Right then, we now have, let's just see how many teams we've got logged in before we start get ourselves going. Right, we're up to 43 teams now logged in. Lovely craft beer pub in York, one of my favourite places is. We are going to Scarborough in Yorkshire. Yes, we thought we're staying in York for one night. The car, it looks like it's going to get to York on a full charge, so that should be all right. We'll charge it up in York and zip off to Scarborough and maybe Robinson's Bay and maybe Whitby, do a bit of touring around and then back. Right, Nikki Bowers has just signed in as well. Good evening, Nikki. Hope all is well with you. And we're about ready to go. We've just got a minute to go and we will crack on. Right, 45 teams are now logged on. So let's just get my questions up and minimise my screen so they're at the top so I can all look at you at the same time as reading out the questions. It's almost clever, this technology, but not clever enough, but never mind. Otherwise, I would have worked out why I haven't got it in widescreen, which it should be in, but never mind. Instead of the black bars to the right and the left of my picture. Could be my camera on my computer, of course. Right, it's now 2015, so let's kick off. Are we ready? Eyes down looking. especially for Julie Ashcroft, that's joined us tonight for a first time. The first answer has got to start, Julie, with the letter W, as in Wednesday. So the first answer's got to start with letter W. Nice, easy one to get you going. Which former Prime Minister is buried in Bladen Churchyard in Oxfordshire? So which former Prime Minister is buried in Bladen Churchyard in Oxfordshire? Pretty straightforward that, starting with a W. There's not many of those, is there? It's a two-word answer, of course. Right, I hope you're all off the mark with that one. Question number 2, starting with the letter E, as in Wednesday. The former Royal Yacht Britannia is now a tourist attraction, but in which city is it moored? And I need the city rather than the port. So the former Royal Yacht Britannia even is now a tourist attraction, but in which city is it moored? What's that, Trinity? There's a little bloody fly bothering me. Got this tiny little fly that's bothering me. Wait a minute. You're going to have to pass me my bat hand. Question number 3. Starting with the letter D, what is the only county in England to have 2 separate coastlines? What is the only county in England to have 2 separate coastlines? It's only a little thing. I think it's a beer fly, of all the flies it could ever be. Right, I've got my fly swatter now. I'll have the thing in a minute. If you see me trying to play tennis, you know I'm after a fly. Question number 4, starting with the letter N. What was the name of a 1999 romantic comedy film starring Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant? Nice, easy one, that. So what was the name of a 1999 romantic comedy film starring Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant? So then, Glenn and Carol and the gang, what have you been up to today then? Tell me where you've been. And then Roy can come up with some jokes to post in the joke column. Question number 5. This starts with the letter E. Who is known as the father of immunology? And his work is said to have saved more lives than the work of any other human. So question number 5, who is known as the father of immunology? And his work is said to have saved more lives than the work of any other human. Shame he's not about now, really. That's a 2-word answer I'm after. A 2-word answer. Question number 6 kind of gives it away with the letter, really. Starting with the letter S. Used by a major motor manufacturer, what is the Japanese name for the Pleiades star cluster? So used by a major motor manufacturer, what is the Japanese name for the Pleiades star cluster? I think I've worded that right, but maybe not. Right, question number 7, starting with the letter D. This is a 2-word answer as well. Who has written a series of letters entitled Dear Fatty in the form of an autobiography? So question 7, who has written a series of letters entitled Dear Fatty in the form of an autobiography? That's a 2-word answer. Somebody you will all know. Now, just now I've got my bat out to get this tiny little fly. The thing's off. It's buzzed off. Yeah, I was going to say something worse than that, but buzz sounds good to me. Question number 8. Which colourless gas with a distinct odour has the chemical formula NH3? You've got a letter, it's got to start with the letter A, which makes that a lot easier. So which colourless gas has a distinct odour with the chemical formula NH3? Question number 9, this has got to start with the letter Y for York. What was Jerry and the Pacemakers' third of 3 consecutive number 1s? So question 9 again. What was Jerry and the Pacemakers' third of 3 consecutive number 1, presume singles, yeah? And that's got to start with the letter Y. Question number 10, I was pleased with myself the other day because this was on the chase and I got it right. To within 1 year either way, when was Concorde's last commercial flight from New York's JFK International Airport to London Heathrow? And that's got to start with the number 2, which presumably puts it in this century at least. So to within 1 year either way, when was Concorde's last commercial flight from New York's JFK International Airport to London Heathrow? Is it nice? Oh, I'll try a bit in a minute. Question number 11. This has got to start with the number 9, remember? It's a 2-digit answer. What number connects the element Einsteinium, a flake ice cream, and balloons? So what number connects the element Einsteinium, a flake ice cream, and balloons? I'm sure the flake gives it away, but never mind. Right, Julie. Question number 12. This starts with the T. And beer. So question 12. In which constellation of the zodiac is the famous Crab Nebula located? Starting with the letter T. So in which constellation of the zodiac is the famous Crab Nebula located? As I say, give you a letter, all these. If I took the letter away, you'd find these twice as difficult as they actually are. He's back. Damn. Thought I was going to get the fly then, but I didn't. And finally, question 13 in this round of 13 questions, starting with the letter H. H for Henry, for instance. Derived from an earlier game which was played in London's prisons in the 18th century. At which public school did the game of squash originate? So question 13 again, derived from an earlier game which was played in London's prisons in the 18th century. At which public school did the game of squash originate? Not very hard. Starts with the letter H. Right then, that's the first round done. I will just give you a minute to make sure all the teams are, I've got the same answers down. They're all happy with the answers you've put down, or not so happy as the case may be. There was a couple of little testers in there, but nothing too much. Maybe the year, the gas. Don't know, we'll see. Right then, let's get some marking done. I think most of us should have 13 answers by now. Get something written down if you haven't already. Here are the answers I was after. The former Prime Minister buried at Blaydon Churchyard in Oxfordshire, of course, was Winston Churchill. Number 2, the Royal Yacht Britannia is now a tourist attraction in Edinburgh. I think it's moored in Leith, isn't it? Somewhere near there anyway. Number 3, what is the only county in England to have 2 separate coastlines? That's Devon. Number 4, I was after that romantic comedy starring Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant, was Notting Hill. Notting Hill. Number 5, who is known as the father of immunology? That was Edward Jenner. Edward Jenner. Well done if you got that. Number 6, of course, it's Subaru. Subaru. Their logo is a number of the 7 stars of the Pleiades star cluster. Number 7 was Dawn French, who wrote Dear Fatty in the form of an autobiography. Number 8, the gas I was after was ammonia. Ammonia, that pungent smelling gas. Number 9, Jerry and the Painmakers' 3rd consecutive number 1 was You'll Never Walk Alone. You'll Never Walk Alone. Number 10, the last commercial flight from New York's JFK to London Heathrow was 2003. So give yourself a full point if you've got 2002 or 2004 as well. It's a couple of years or 3 years after, I think, the fatal Paris disaster. Number 11, what number connects the element 9 Einsteinium? A flake ice cream, of course, and balloons. Well, it's 99. 99 red balloons. 99 is the number of a flake ice cream. And, of course, the element Einsteinium is the atomic number 99. Number 12, constellation I was after was Taurus. Taurus the bull. And finally, number 13, derived from an earlier game. Squash originated, apparently, at Harrow. At Harrow. So well done if you got that. Right then, now then, Julie, all you've got to do is tot up your score and give me a total in the chat column. That's all we've got to do. So I'm expecting a big 13 straight away on that one, surely. No? Let's see how we all fare. So all teams like to get something in. We've got Chilly Willy with a 12. We've got Michelle with a 12. We've got Hillary with a 13. Julie's with an 11. We've got the Quizzy Rascals on 13. Sarah and the gang are on 11. Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6, with a strong start with 13, with as is PRS with 13, Roger Griffiths with 13 points, Andrew Lewis with 11, Mick Roberts with 11, Harry and Julian Ian with no score. Pick a Mixer on 11, Famous 5, 13 points. The only AJB, 13 for Alex Brown and the Tweenies. Fantastic. Jed and Tracy are on 10, split the difference on 13, Ian Miller's on 11, Nicky Bowers is on 11. Have we got any more scores rushing in as we speak? So basically, we've got scores ranging from 11 to 13 at the moment, haven't we? Oh, 10 to 13. So let's see how we fare in round number 2 tonight. Round number 2. Oh, yeah, sorry, they didn't put their score down. Yes, 12, sorry. Right, okay. So 1 or 2 people dropped the odd point or two there, but nothing too disastrous. Plenty of time to catch up and see how we can fare on the next round. Now, the next round is entitled Sun, the Sun. So you've got basically 10 general knowledge questions, something to do somewhere with the sun, if you're lucky, or something to do with the sun. Right, question number 1. Pretty straightforward, this one. I'm sure most of you should be able to get this. Which artist painted a series of 5 famous works called Sunflowers between 1888 and 1889? Which artist painted a series of 5 famous works called Sunflowers between 1888 and 1889? Actually, when I was looking that question up, I didn't realise there were 5 of the paintings. I know there were more than one, but I didn't realise there were 5 of them. Never mind. Question number 2. For good reason, which American state is nicknamed the Sunshine State? I wonder who's been there. So for good reason, which American state is nicknamed the Sunshine State? Time to undo the beer again. Question number 3. Also the name of a series of manned space missions. Who was the Roman god of the sun? So question 3. Also the name of a series of manned space missions. Who was the Roman god of the sun? Going all right so far, I'm sure. Not particularly tricky. Question number 4. Who played the Sundance Kid in the 1969 film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? So question 4 again. Who played the Sundance Kid in the 1969 film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Now that is a film I haven't seen for a long, long time. Question number 5, good bit of chemistry this one. The sun is mainly composed of hydrogen and which other gas? What's Chili put? Do I get an extra point for correct pronunciation? Possibly, Chili, possibly. Although no extra points in this game. Question number 6. Now you need to listen to this. Which British band beginning with the letter F, that's F for Freddie, had a hit in 1968 with this song, which later became a #1 for Terry Jacks and also a Christmas #1 for Westlife? Forget this, you should read the question number 6. Which British band beginning with the letter F had a hit in 1968 with the song which later became a #1 for Terry Jacks and also a Christmas #1 for Westlife? That still doesn't read right. With Ace. I'll say that just once more. So which British band beginning with the letter F had a hit in 1968 with a song which later became a #1 for Terry Jacks and also a Christmas #1 for Westlife? So I need the name of the band. Of course, the name of the song has got something to do with sun in it. I'm sure you've already worked that one out. Tricky band. There was no cheating over there. You're smiling at your mother. That means you're giving a hint. Question number 7. Occurring twice a year, what name is given to the time when the sun is directly over the equator at noon? So question 7 again. Occurring twice a year, what name is given to the time when the sun is directly over the equator at noon? Just a one-word answer I'm after for that one. Number 8 is another music question. Which 2 singers duetted on the 1991 UK #1 hit single Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. So question 8 again, which two singers duetted on the 1991 UK #1 hit single, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me? Now, I'm more than willing to sing it for you if you want. Though I'm sure Robin will want me to stop rather swiftly if I begin, so I won't bother. Don't let the sun... No, I'm not going to start singing it. Oh, dear. Oh, it's another music question. Blimey, I'm spoiling you tonight with music. Question number 9. Which member of the band The Beatles wrote Here Comes the Sun? What, you don't want me singing, Roy? I can sing this one. So which member of the band The Beatles wrote Here Comes the Sun? And finally, the trickiest one in the round. According to the Bible, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars on what day of the week? I need a number. I don't want you to put Friday down. Cliff Mitchell. So according to the Bible, God created the sun, moon, and stars on what day? For that, I need a number, of course. Right, there were 10 questions, all something to do with the sun. So I wonder how you fared with that. Ha ha, nice one, Chilly. Nice one. Good guess anyway. Might be right. I told you I need a number though. Sunday. Where's Joe tonight? Have you not tracked him down to come and help you? You done, and you got answers for everything? Has everybody got answers for everything, or do you need a little bit more time? Just tell me quickly if you need a bit more time. Oh, he's working. I'm just hoping our friends from Toronto are going to join us on Sunday, who normally do, because I've got a Toronto question. I wonder whether I get it right. But we'll see. Nicky Bowers needs a bit more time. Okay. Right, come on, Roy, you haven't told me what you've been up to today, you and Carol and Lynn and again. Been up to anything special? Haven't you taken him anywhere special then, Carol? Been out for tea somewhere? High tea this afternoon? Right then, I think we've probably had long enough, Nicky. So, get something down. If you've not got anything down, just have a guess. Question number 1 was that artist art after, of course, was Vincent van Gogh. We're going out. No, we're going out tomorrow. Excellent. That sounds good. We better not let him drink too much tonight then. Where are you off to tomorrow? Anyway, nice. Question number 2, for good reason, which American state is nicknamed the Sunshine State? That's Florida. Florida, well done if you got that. Mistake if you put Hawaii, but never mind. Question number 3, it was the Apollo manned space missions. The Roman god of the sun is called Apollo. Number 4, the Sundance Kid was played by Robert Redford. Number 5, it's helium, the other gas that makes up the sun, helium and hydrogen. Number 6, of course, the British band beginning with the letter F. Well done if you got the Fortunes. The song, of course, was Seasons in the Sun, which was the number 1 for Terry Jacks and for Westlife. But the original band were the Fortunes. Number 7, occurring twice a year, it's an equinox where the sun crosses the equator from north to south and then south to north. Number 8, the two singers that duetted Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, of course, was George Michael and Elton John. Number 9, the member of the Beatles who wrote Here Comes the Sun was George Harrison. And finally, according to the Bible, God created the sun, moon, and the stars on the 4th day. The 4th day. That was a tricky one, wasn't it? You'd expect the stars and the sun and the moon to come a bit earlier than that, wouldn't you? Right then, everybody, let's have your scores in now. Julie, I need a total score. So you take your first round and you add it to the round you've just done, and you put a total score down. So at present, we have the Quizzy Rascals with a full 23 points. Jed and Tracy are on a fantastic 18 points, our friends from Burton. Then we have Harry, Julie and Ian on 21. Michelle and the gang from Crick are on 19. PRS, another full house on 23 points. Home Alone 6 are on 20 points. Ian Miller's on 20. We have Martin Davis and the gang on 18 points. Split the difference are on 23. Chilly Willie has got 8 in that round on totaling 20 points. Hilary Farnham's on 20. Famous 5 on 21. Nicky Bowers is on 19. Roger Griffiths somehow's got half point, 19 and a half, that's fine. Pick a Mixer on 19, the only AJB 22 points. Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 18 points. Mick Roberts is on 19. Andrew Lewis is on 17 and a half. What was God messing about at until the 4th day? I don't know, honestly. It's a long time since I read the first chapter of Genesis, I suppose. But never mind. Well, it was the firmament, wasn't there, on the first day? Yeah, something came out the firmament. I don't know. God no. Right, Jackie Skip, the Booby Prize girls are on a fantastic 18. Yeah, they're created day and night on the 2nd day. Yes, you obviously know your Bible better than me, then, Ian. You've probably got your Bible out just to check. Julie says they're on 19. Weren't the fortunes from rugby? Even though I didn't get it, I don't know. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't know. Does anybody know where the fortunes were from rugby? Somebody's just posed the question. I'm not sure at all. I'm not fortunate enough to know that, or unfortunate enough to know it. But never mind. Right then, there's some cracking scores in at the moment. Not a lot in it. We've got a few teams still to drop a point. The Quizzy Rascals, PRS, and Split the difference all on 23. Then we've got a few on 22, a few on 21 and 20s. And where were they? Fortunes? Birmingham. Apparently Birmingham won the fortunes, but never mind. Not far away. Right then, round number 3, especially for you, Julie, if you've never done this before. Most are one-word answers. Not that that makes any difference whatsoever. You take the last letter from your first answer, and it's the first letter of number 2. My friend went out with George in the early days. Which George are we talking about here? Is it George Michael, George Harrison, or George from the Fortunes? Glyn says they lived in Crick for a bit. Wow. Did they come into your pub, Glyn? I don't know what to do. You never know. Well, yeah, I need to do a bit of study on the Fortunes, see where they all came from and lived. Never mind. Right then, are we ready? Trivia Trail. This is a one-word answer I'm after. Oh, Harrison. Blimey. My friend went out with George Harrison. Yeah, fantastic. Now, that's good. Question number 1. Becoming a popular music hall dance in the 1840s, which German classical composer wrote the Can-Can? I only want one name for that. One-word answer. Elton John and George Michael lived in Crete. God knows. Question number 1. Becoming a popular music hall dance in the 1840s, which German classical composer wrote the Can-Can? There's a good one to get you going. It's a one-word answer I'm after. Do you want me to sing that? What? Sorry. Did he? Oh, apparently Andrew, that's taking part in the quiz tonight, he recorded the Fortunes in Toaster. My brother-in-law. That must have been not in the 60s. Right, take the last letter of that one-word answer, and it's the first letter of this one. Question number 2, what is the largest flatfish and was named apparently because of its popularity on Catholic holy days? So what is the largest flatfish and was named apparently because of its popularity on Catholic holy days? That's where I'd like to see it, Matthew. I'm sure it'd be great. Not the fish. No, I wouldn't say that at the Moulin Rouge, but never mind. When did you go to the Moulin Rouge then? A few years back? Lovely. Right, take the last letter of that flatfish, and it's a one-word answer. And it's the first letter of this. Question number 3, first shown in the 1960s. Raggy Dan and Rag and Bone Man and Mr. Minton appeared in which children's TV series? That's a one-word answer I'm after. So first shown in the 60s, Raggy Dan, the Rag and Bone Man, and Mr. Minton appeared in which children's TV series? Were they wearing undercrackers? Well, I'd expect them to be wearing some undercrackers, yeah. I don't think it was ever done in the Altogether, certainly not in the Moulin Rouge, but it might have been, you never know. We are going back to the 1840s when it became popular, apparently, so. The only AJB said, Ian, you'll know that one, I'm sure. Everybody knows that one. One-word answer I'm after for number 3. Number 4, which might put you on track, do remember to take the last letter of that one. It's the first letter of this one. What do you call a person who either studies or collects coins? So what do you call a person who either studies or collects coins? Matthew says they didn't wear much. Spice wife let you go, Matthew. Of course, I expect you need a front row seat to make it worth it, but maybe not. Take the last letter of that one-word answer I'm after, and it is the first letter of this two-word answer. Here we go then. Question number 5. The sports manufacturing company Butterfly are most famously associated with which sport? And that's a two-word answer. So the sports manufacturing company Butterfly are most famously associated with which sport? No change there then. It was for her birthday. She wanted to go. Ooh, fantastic. So would I. I'd like to go there. I presume they just do regular shows, do they? It must be just about every day. Now that sport was a two-word answer I'm after, so take the last letter of that two-word answer. And it's the first letter of this one. This is quite interesting. Question number 6. Popular in south of the United States, but a pest in gardens in the United Kingdom, which peculiar meat was the original basis of a Brunswick stew? I was trying to remember that today and I've forgotten it. So popular in the south of the United States, but a pest in the gardens in the United Kingdom, which peculiar meat was the original basis of a Brunswick stew? That's a one-word answer. Right, take the last letter of that peculiar meat, and it's the first letter of question number 7. Question number 7, this will take you back about which children's comic character appearing in the Beano lives at Bunkerton Castle? So which children's comic character appearing in the Beano lives at Bunkerton Castle? That's a 2-word answer I'm after. Come on, I'm sure you'll all get that one. I don't know whether I got the fly or not. It disappeared anyway. Oh no, I did get it. It's only a tiny little thing, beer fly. It doesn't like electric bats. Right, take the last letter of that 2-word answer, and it's the first letter of number 8. The cancer drug Taxol is derived from which conifer, which is native to Western, Central and Southern Europe and Northwest Africa? It's just a 1-word answer I'm after. The cancer drug Taxol is derived from which conifer, which is native to Western, Central and Southern Europe and Northwest Africa, amongst other places. There was a whole list of them, actually. It did go out into Iran and Asia somewhere, but I thought I'd put enough information down. 1-word answer. Thankfully, Chris, it's not in my beer, but it's on the tray. It's only a tiny little thing. It's proper beer fly. They are pests, beer flies. Not very easy to kill either. They're very easy to kill with an electric bat, believe me. But not very easy to kill with fly spray. They don't seem to be resilient to it. But no more. Right, question number 9. This will suit one of the teams tonight. Say no more, Sarah. The scene of the first performance of one of his best-known works, the Enigma Variations, which cathedral features on the back of an old UK £20 note? So question 9, the scene of the first performance of one of his best-known works, the Enigma Variations, which cathedral features on the back of an old UK £20 note? Yes, I thought you'd get that one, Sarah. Maybe. Maybe not. Right, take the last letter of that 1-word answer. Just need the city. I don't need the cathedral stuck on the end. So just the city name. Take the last letter of that city, and it's the first letter of this 2-word answer. This is a bit more testing. This will be for the boffins. Which architect, whose name is also the name of a musical instrument, designed London's tallest building, the Shard? That's a 2-word answer, starting with the last letter of obviously a previous answer. So which architect, whose surname is also the name of a musical instrument, designed London's tallest building, the Shard? That'll show you who's going to be a depth in strength in their team or not. Now, the last letter of that will take you back to the first letter of question number 1, or answer number 1, sorry. So the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of answer number 1. We all got the idea. You got a little fly as well. It's having the doors open all day long, isn't it? We were chasing one around. There was this great big fly last night. We were chasing around at about 12:30 last night, buzzing from one end of the room to the other. Doesn't help when you got a 5-metre ceiling. They just buzz off. Never mind. Right, do we need a little bit more time, or are we happy with all those? We get answers for everything else? Not quite. We're struggling a little bit with that one. I might give you half a point for the last one if you can just get his surname. In fact, I will give you half a point for the surname. Right, does anybody need a little... Give me a mo, the sound froze nice. Oh, that's no problem. Come on, Nikki. That was a tough round. An awful round. You've got to see where it picked up and then see whether you can carry on a little bit. That wasn't an easy round, I know. It's the hardest round of the night tonight, trivia trial, but never mind. Oh, the other thing, Julie, Lydia, my daughter, puts all the questions in the chat column, as you can see. So all you've got to do is scroll back through the chat and you can see all the questions. Ah, my daughter's called Lydia too. I think we were well, going back 30 years, wasn't it? Where the hell were we where we chose Lydia? I think we're on the Isle of Guernsey and we decided that oh yeah, it was a beach. There was a little girl on the beach called Lydia, that's right. And there was a song called Lydia by Dean Friedman. It was quite interesting, which we liked. So a combination of those two, and we decided on Lydia for a name. Oh, wasn't it nothing to do with the song? No, it nothing to do with the song. Right then, let's go back to the beginning. Here we go. Are we ready? Come on, Nicky, it can't be that bad, surely. Question 1. Becoming a popular music hall dance in the 1840s. Which German classical composer wrote the can-can? That was a bit tricky. That was Offenbach. Offenbach. That gave you the H for the halibut, also known as the holy fish. The halibut, holy fish. Classic holy days. That gave you the T for that 1960s TV series, which Raggy Dan and the Rag and Bone Man and Mr. Minton, they were all members of Trumpton, characters from Trumpton. That gave you the N to the collector of coins. That's a numismatist, That gave you the T for the sport of table tennis, That in turn gave you the S for that pest garden. Pest is a squirrel, the original basis of a Brunswick stew. That gave you the L for Lord Snooty, the character from the Beano that lived in Bunkerton Castle, Lord Snooty. Of course, if you got Lord Snooty, that gave you the Y for that tree, the U. I had to change that question because it read something about churchyards, and I know I had something in Sunday about churchyards and yew trees. So cancer drug Taxol is derived from the conifer, the yew. That gave you the W for that first performance of the Enigma variations that were performed, obviously, by Edward Elgar. Well, not necessarily him, but an orchestra. He wrote them in Worcester Cathedral. And he and Worcester Cathedral appeared on the £20 note. That in turn gave you the R for that architect who was known as Renzo Piano. Who designed the Shard. So well done if you got. I will give you a half point if you just put piano down. I'll give you half a point if you put piano. Now that was a tough round, not the easiest one in the world, but I'm sure we have still got some 10 out of 10. So very well done. Val Barnes and the Quizzy Rascals on 33 points, yet to drop a point. I thought they might lose one on Renzo there, but never mind. Mick Roberts is on 27. Sarah and the gang on 24.5. Chili Willy, very respectable, 29 points. Not Ricardo Piccolo. It was close. Jordan Tracy on 28. Ian Miller's on 26. Pick-a-Mix are on 27. PRS are on 32.5 points. Julie's doing very well on 28 points. Martin Davis on 27. Michelle's on 27. Famous Five are on 29. The only AJB are on 29.5. Home Alone on 27. Andrew Lewis, 22.5. Split the difference. They haven't dropped a point either. 33 points. Roger Griffiths are on 27.5. Nicky Bowers on 24. Hilary Farnham's on 27.5 points. And we only more scores in. So we've got two teams at the moment, yet to drop a point. PRS are just a half a point back. And then we've got a whole load, 29s and 30s. So some great scores out there tonight. Nobody's out the running yet. Right, round number 4 is rhyming pairs. Okay, rhyming pairs. There are 10 general knowledge questions where 5 of the answers rhyme with the other 5. 5 rhyme with the other 5. They're all one-word answers except 2 of the answers which are 2-word answers, but we'll get to those when I. Yeah, right. So question number 1, which is a one-word answer that I'm after. In the game of football, what was the first company to sponsor the English Premier League? So in the game of football, what was the first company to sponsor the English Premier League? Just a one-word answer, pretty straightforward. Question number 2, also pretty straightforward. Which compass point features in the titles of 2 hit singles by the Pet Shop Boys? I was going to say something else, but it's just the Pet Shop Boys, of course. So which compass point features in the titles of 2 hit singles by the Pet Shop Boys? Question number 3 is dead easy. What alternative name for a ballpoint pen takes its name from its Hungarian inventor? Just a one-word answer. So what alternative name for a ballpoint pen takes its name from its Hungarian inventor? Question number 4. I'm not sure as I'd remember this, I have to say. This would be hard going. What is the name of the feral cat that falls in love with Duchess and becomes a father figure to her kittens in the Disney film The Aristocrats? Is it? I've got to check that. It's not spelled out. No, it is Aristocrats. There's no R in there. No R in there. Not spelled out. So question 4 again. What is the name of the feral cat that falls in love with the Duchess and becomes a father figure to her kittens in the Disney film The Aristocrats? Question number 5. With a population of over 20 million in its metropolitan area, what African city is the largest in the Arab world? So question 5 again. With a population of over 20 million in its metropolitan area, what African city is the largest in the Arab world? That's a one-word answer. Number 4, Nikki. Number 4 was a 2-word answer. Sorry. Yeah, the cat question. That's right. First name and second name, basically. Question number 6, a one-word answer. By what name is a waistcoat commonly known as in America? So question 6, by what name is a waistcoat commonly known as in America? Just a one short word answer. Short one-word answer even. should have at least one of those rhyming now. Question number 7. As played by Naomi Harris, what is Moneypenny's first name in the James Bond films Skyfall and Spectre? So question 7 again. As played by Naomi Harris, what is Moneypenny's first name in the James Bond films Skyfall and Spectre? Obviously, that's just a one-word answer I'm after. Question number 8. What term of endearment is also the name of a river in Australia and the surname of a former Chancellor of the Exchequer? It's just a one-word answer. So what term of endearment is also the name of a river in Australia, and the surname of a former Chancellor of the Exchequer? I'm sure you can work that one out. Wife was scribbling that down straight away, weren't you? She's waiting for the rest of the team. No, not me. Never. Just my screen. That's better. Right, number 9 is the second of your 2-word answers. Home to many of the world's largest tech companies, by what nickname is the southern part of the San Francisco Bay Area in California best known? So question 9 again. Home to many of the world's largest tech companies, by what nickname is the southern part of the San Francisco Bay Area in California best known? That's a 2-word answer I'm after for that. And finally, question number 10. This again has got to rhyme with one of the previous answers. Used by the French to refer to the English Channel, La Manche is a phrase that translates to mean the what? So question 10. Used by the French to refer to the English Channel, La Manche is a phrase that translates to mean what, or the what? They don't want to call it the English Channel, do they? Call it the French Channel. Right, 5 of your answers should rhyme with the other 5 answers, or just about. Loosely, should we say. I will give you a minute to work that out because sometimes you do need to sit and think about those. So then, Nikki and the gang, how are you doing with that round? Is that any better than the previous awful one? Oh dear. Booby prize girls, trying hard. But no better. Damn. Well, I was expecting to full rally this one. Just meaningless. Right, we've got 5 answers that rhyme with another 5. That's the true answer. Right then, let's get some marking done. Anybody need any more time, or are we happy? Quickly put it in the chat if you need a bit more time. Right then, here we go. Game of football. What was the first company to sponsor the English Premier League? That was Carling. Carling, the Carling Premier League. Number 2, which Compass Point features in the titles of 2 singles by the Pet Shop Boys? That's West, as in West End Girls and Go West. Number 3, the alternative name is the ballpoint pen, which takes its name from its Hungarian inventor, was Biro, or Biro, as he was called, but Biro, the Biro. Number 4, that cat I was after was called Thomas O'Malley. Thomas O'Malley, well done if you got that. Number 5, that large African city is Cairo, of course. Cairo. Number 6, the waistcoat, commonly known in America as a vest. Number 7, as played by Naomi Harris, Miss Moneypenny's first name was Eve. Number 8, the term of endearment, also the name of a river in Australia and the surname of a former Chancellor of the Exchequer, is Darling. So Darling rhymes with Carling. Number 9, the home of the world's largest tech companies. That's Silicon Valley, which loosely, of course, rhymes with Thomas O'Malley. And finally, number 10, used by the French to refer to the channel La Manche, is a phrase that translates to mean the sleeve. The sleeve. Shape of a sleeve, apparently. Which, of course, rhymes with number 7, Eve. So, Chilly Willy scored a full 10 on that. Well done, Chilly Willy. That's not bad on your own. That's 39 points out of a possible 43. That is some going. Jed and Tracy now on 38 points. Also, some great scores there. Michelle's on 37. Sarah and the gang somehow are on 43. I don't think that means 43, but never mind. The Famous Five are on 39. We've got Martin Davis on 35. Julie's on 38. We've got Nikki Bowers on 34. Quizzy Rascals are on 43, yet to drop a point. Pick a Mix are on 35. We've got Roger Griffiths on 32 and a half. Sarah's on 34 and a half, I lied. PRS are on 40 and a half. We've got Mick Roberts on 37. Andrew Lewis on 30.5. Home Alone 6 now on 37 with Hilary Farman, full marks on 37 and a half points. Ian Miller's also on 35, and the only AJB are on 37 and a half points. So, at the moment in the 40s, we have, oh, wait a minute, there's some more coming in here. Booby Prize Girls, we got 10 out of 10. Well played, the Booby Prize Girls. After you see the dismal round before, you're a straight 10 out of 10 with that one. Right then, they're on 32. Harry, Julie, and Ian are on 37 and a half. So at the moment, we have split the difference on 41. We have PRS on 40 and a half. But out in the lead at the moment, having not dropped a point, we've got the Quizzy Rascals on 43 points, team to beat. Also, those to just take note of are Chilly Willy on 39, Jed and Tracy on 38, the Famous Five on 39, Julie's on 38. We've got Mick Roberts on 37, Home Alone on 37, and Hilary Farman on 37 and a half. So, there's quite a few. Actually, there's a few on 37 and a half. So, well done, everybody, so far. You're not dropped very far behind at all. We have one team at the moment, seem to be just about running away a little bit, but never mind. I haven't got to point yet. Let's see whether we can catch them out with the chain letters. Now, chain letters, just for you, Julie, and anybody else, basically, you either take the last letter of your first answer, so it's a bit like a trivia trial, but it could be the last 2 or the last 3, and they become the first or the first 2 or the first 3 of the next one. So you'll get it as we go along. You'll get it as we go. So question 1 is a tricky one. What is the common title of hit singles for Stephen Tintin Duffy, Sixpence, None the Richer, and Ollie Murs? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. So what is the common title of hit singles by Stephen Tintin Duffy, Sixpence, None the Richer, and Ollie Murs. I bet Mick Roberts is shaking his head at that one. So would I, actually, but never mind. Right, you either take the last letter of that answer, the last two or the last three. Oh dear, Julie's shaking her head. Let's see if we can get this one then, Julie. This is an interesting one. Question number 2. The full official name of the award that is commonly known as the Oscar is the Academy Award of what? So question number 2. The full official name of the award that's commonly known as the Oscar is the Academy Award of what? It's a one-word answer I'm after. Yes, I thought that might be out your depth, that first one, Chili, but never mind. A bit tricky, that one. Question number 3, listen carefully. The liqueur Sambuca comes from which European country? That might help you with the previous answer, of course, if you can get that one. So the liqueur Sambuca comes from which European country? Again, just a one-word answer. Question number 4. We were watching Channel 4, The Post, last night. It was a film about the Washington Post during just prior to Watergate, really. But this guy popped up a couple of times. Question number 4. Who became US president following the assassination of J.F. Kennedy? So who became US president following the assassination of John F. Kennedy? Sure, my wife will get that one straight away. She was riveted to it. Riveted. No, we had no quiz last night. We normally do a quiz on a Tuesday night, but there was nothing there. Right then. Right, take either the last letter of his surname, the last 2 or the last 3, and it's the first or the first 2 or the first 3 of this one. Question number 5, all you soap fans. The Waterhole, Harold's Store, and Lassiter's Hotel all feature in which TV soap opera? One-word answer. So the Waterhole, Harold's Store, and Lassiter's Hotel all feature in which TV soap opera? I didn't realise, actually, this is a very difficult round, but never mind. See how you fare. I think it gets easier. Was it worse than the previous round? Number 6, this is one my daughter will know, I'm sure. Right, again, take either the last letter of that answer, last 2 or the last 3, and it's the first 1 or first 2 of the next. What is the common name of the sea witch in the Disney film The Little Mermaid and Phoebe's twin sister in the TV show Friends? Come on, Willie, I'm sure you heard it. Chili, you'll know that one, surely. So what is the common name of the sea witch in the Disney film The Little Mermaid and Phoebe's twin sister in the TV show Friends? You knew that one, didn't you, Liz? Yeah, my daughter knew that one. Chili's giving up on this round. You can work them backwards. Come on, you can work them backwards. You can guess the soap at least. Come on, Willie. Chili even. Chili, Willie. You got me saying Willie now. Got me saying Willie instead of Chili now. Question number 7 here. Chili, this will cheer you up. What is the anatomical name given to the voice box? So what is the anatomical name which is given to the voice box? Come on, you must know that. Mr. Willie to you. Sorry, Willie. I mean, Mr. Willie. Chilly. Oh, dear God. I'll tell you what, I'll reach for my beer. It might help. Now, you'll have got that one. I know you. You'll have got an anatomical name for a part of the body. You know, you're the kind of man that knows his Alex from his Pollux, so to speak. Right then, number 8. Remember that last answer to either take the last letter, which I suggest you do. Right, question number 8. As mentioned in the Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem Kubla Khan, what was the name of Kubla Khan's summer palace? We gave up after question 1. Come on, you'll know this one. If you get number 7, you'll get number 8. So, as mentioned in the Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem Kubla Khan, what was the name of Kubla Khan's summer palace? It's a one-word answer. Do take the last letter of your previous answer. Might help you. Got one. Yes. Excellent. You should have 2 then. You might get this one as well. Question number 9. The river Liffey flows through the centre of which major city? Remember, either take the last letter, the last 2, or the last 3 of the previous answer. So the river Liffey flows through the centre of which major city? Come on, tell me you've got 2 now at least, maybe 3. And again, you might like to take the last 1, 2, or even 3 letters of that answer. And it'll be the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of this one. Here we go. What name is given to the scientific study of language and its structure, including the study of grammar, syntax, and phonetics? So one-word answer I'm after. You've got a few letters there to get you going from the previous answer. So what name is given to the scientific study of language, its structure, including study of grammar, syntax, and phonetics? Come on, Chili, you'll get that one. No, it doesn't go full circle. No, sorry, it doesn't go full circle, so it doesn't go back to the beginning, unfortunately. I thought you were on a roll towards the end there, yeah, so that's 4 we've got right. Surely you and Chili doing much the same. Let's go back a bit. I was just looking at some of the earlier. Sambuca, you can have a guess at that. That should give you the president. Must be able to have a guess at a president. And that soap opera, definitely you can have a guess at that. So soap opera's a one-word answer. That's the way you've got to do it. Work it backwards. See whether you can work it backwards. Remember, it's either just the last 1 letter, 2, or 3. All right, Matt, I won't give any clues. So I know it's most annoying if you've worked them all out already. I'm only trying to help the likes of Chili Willie, as I normally do, you know. Or Mr. Willie, as he likes to be called. So, Matt, are you still working from home, or have you had to go now into the office every day, or what? It'd be a bit tricky, but I expect you can do quite a lot of... No, Michelle, number 1 does not link back to number 10. No, unfortunately, it's not quite so hard with a trivia trial, but it's quite difficult when you're doing 3, 2, or 1 letters to get back to the beginning. But never mind. So number 1 was a 2-word answer, name of that song. Number 2, I was just after a 1-word answer. The Academy Award of what? That is working in the office, was working from home. Well, I suppose, yeah. I suppose you can distance fairly well in your office. You're still working from home, aren't you? Yeah. My son's, my son and daughter are both working from home. Whilst my eldest son has had to go back and he designs kitchens for Howdens. But he's on holiday at the moment in some tent on the south coast. Swanage. Right, have we had enough time? Have we managed to work them back? Have we managed to get some answers for most? Or have we got some big holes? Let me know if you need a bit more time quickly before we go into the last round, which is just a bit of general trivia. Oh, excellent. Well done, you see. You can work these back, and if you can get answers to 9, that's pretty good going. Talk's hearing is on video link there. Great. But you zoom in with the offender on one screen in the top right-hand corner. Right then, let's get some marking done. I think most people have managed to work it back a bit, if not all the way back. Question 1 was probably the hardest, which didn't set you off very well, did it? So, what is the common title of hit singles for Stephen Tintin Duffy? Sixpence. None the Richer on Ollie Murs. That was Kiss Me, Kiss Me. That gave you the M.E. for the beginning of the word I was after. The full official title of the Oscar is the Academy Award of Merit. The Academy Award of Merit. That gave you the I.T. for the European country of Italy. That gave you the L.Y. for the US President, Lyndon B. Johnson. Well done if you worked that out. Lyndon B. Johnson. That gave you the N, of course, for the soap opera Neighbours, which in turn gave the U.R.S. That was a tricky one, wasn't it? For Ursula, Phoebe's twin sister in the TV show Friends, and the witch in the Disney film The Little Mermaid, Ursula. That in turn gave you the L.A. for the anatomical name for the voice box, of course, is the larynx, which in turn gave you the X for Kubla Khan's Summer Palace at Xanadu, Xanadu. That in turn gave you the DU. The River Liffey, of course, flows through the city of Dublin. And that in turn gave you the first 3 letters of the word linguistics. Linguistics, which is the scientific study of language, its structure, grammar, syntax, and phonetics. So well done with that if you did well. How's the car, says Nicky. Well, don't know, we're going to test it out tomorrow. We've done 1,600 miles in the car now, which is more than we did last year. Right, the Quiz Your School's doing very well indeed. Oh, they've dropped a point though, 52 points. I bet that first one caught them out a bit there. Sarah and the gang on 44.5, some great scores. Michelle's on 47, Matthew Blood and the gang are on 50.5. Nicky Bowers on 43, the famous 5 on 49 points. Andrew Lewis is on 36.5, PRS on 50.5. Roger Griffiths 37.5. We've got Hilary Farmer on 45.5. Mick Roberts on 44. Ian Miller's on 43. Martin Davis 45. A good run for us eventually. Jed and Tracy, you see, he didn't do that bad after all. 46 points. That's great. Chilly Willie got an 8 as well, moaning that he was only going to hit 2. on 47 points. Harry Julian on 46.5. Home Alone are also on 47 points. Julie Ashcroft on 47 points. We got Pick a Mix on 44. The only AJB on 46.5. Split the difference, 51 points. And the Booby Prize Girls are on 39 points. Come on, the Booby Prize Girls. They're doing really well at the moment. So top score at the moment, 52. The Quizzy Rascals are in the lead. They are hotly pursued by Split Difference, who are hotly pursued by PRS, only half a point behind, who are hotly pursued by all those on 49 points, which include the famous 5, I think, are next. Yeah, it's all pretty close there, all pretty close. Now, as is always, the last round tonight is just a general trivia round. We have 10 general knowledge questions, nothing too tricky. I don't think there's anything here really that is more than just general knowledge. So let's see how you all fare. There's nothing that will catch most teams out here, so you might be lucky. Quizzy Rascals, let's see how you fare. Tonight starts with a very easy anagram: glum backache pain. Glum backache pain. So GLUM BACKACHE, pain, PAIN, glum backache pain. And the clue is a famous building rebuilt by John Nash, the famous architect, in 1825. Well, I don't suppose he built it personally. He was the architect in charge of it. So tonight's anagram is glum backache pain, and the clue is a famous building rebuilt by John Nash, famous architect, in 1825. As I say, he probably didn't do any of the bricklaying. It's always funny, isn't it, the way the architect gets remembered, but the person that actually built it doesn't. Or the people that built it don't. Question number 2. For all you that used to watch Top of the Pops, which dance troupe who became a regular feature of Top of the Pops originally took over from the Go-Jo's in 1968? So which dance troupe who became a regular feature of Top of the Pops originally took over from the Go-Jo's in 1968? I'll say none of the questions tonight are trick questions, so don't worry too much. Put down what you think, see how you fare. Question number 3, not many will know this, but they might do. Question number 3, which 3 letters did SOS replace as a Morse code Mayday signal? They need to go back just about a century, really, or just over a century. Which 3 letters did SOS replace as a Morse Mayday signal? Have you got Clive with you tonight? No. Oh dear. Oh dear. Faye, what's Jackie been whinging about all night tonight? Oh my. I haven't read Might, I'd read Night anyway. That's my dyslexia for you. She's pulled something. I daren't say what. Oh dear. Is it something painful, or is it something that we shouldn't be talking about? Oh dear. Nothing to do with planets of the solar system, is it? Is it the 8th planet of the solar system or 7th planet of the solar system? No. Oh no, let's not go there. Question number 4, listen carefully. If you were to come across the letters CG on an Ordnance Survey map, what would you be looking at? So if you were to come across the letter CG on an Ordnance Survey map, what would you be looking at? And you do need a fine detailed map for that. Oh, it was me back. See, you don't want to pull your back. My wife woke up the other night with back pain and sciatica, and ever since we fell off the bike, my shoulders still give me grief. We're just getting too old, Jackie. That's what it is. Shoulders, backs, knees, arms. Just when you think you're doing all right, you suddenly slice your finger or crack your blooming arm. I've got tennis elbow on my left hand and my left elbow at the moment. That's really giving me some grief. On and off. It's not pain all the time. And I smacked it on the back of the blooming car door today somehow. God knows how I did that. Never mind. It's getting... Right, anyway, enough of that. Question number 5. What is the longest athletic race in the Olympic Games? So what is the longest athletic race in the Olympic Games? Come on, there's nothing to catch anybody out here. Question number 6. Now, this is one we've had before. Whether I've had it before in the last 35 weeks, I don't know, but you might like to tell me. What item of confectionery was advertised with the slogan, "Just enough to give your kids a treat"? Dreadful, really, but never mind. So what item of confectionery was advertised with the slogan, "Just enough to give your kids a treat"? You were taking the mick with your anagram. What anagram was that for? Oh, yes, back pain. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. There is nothing worse than back pain. I managed to knacker my back when I was about 25. No, I was younger than that. 21. I was in the Merchant Navy and I was trying to lift this pump, which was too heavy for me, probably. It was about 30 kilos plus. And I was lifting up a very narrow staircase that went up virtually a very steep angle. And bloody shit was going like this, and I couldn't let go of the thing, and I did my back in. Never thought anything of it, but it's never been the same since. So whatever you do, don't put your back out. Question number 7, listen carefully. On which of the inferior planets would you find the Carolus Basin, a large impact crater? So question 7, on which of the inferior planets would you find the Carolus Basin, a large impact crater? What's that? Go on. Oh, it was my phone. Where is it? Oh, just had a Sky at Night notification that came through. ISS flies over. Yeah, stupid. Yeah. Something about the ISS flying over in a few minutes' time or something. Right, question number 8. Listen carefully. In which English county are you never more than 8.5 miles from the M4? Question number 8. In which English county are you never more than 8.5 miles from the M4? Yes, thank you, Robin, for that thought. And as somebody that has had that type of surgery on 2 occasions now, which is not something that I want to read of a 3rd time, although he did tell me I need it doing again. But never mind. So question 8 again. In which English county are you never more than 8.5 miles from the M4? That sounds nasty. Cystoscopy. Question number 9. I'm sure you've all heard of this. An accomplished musician, Patrick Moore, had a fondness of playing which musical instrument the most? I shouldn't say of, I should say for. So an accomplished musician, Patrick Moore, had a fondness for playing which musical instrument the most? Oh dear. Didn't sound good, that. I think the most painful thing I ever had, although no, I did have a lot of back pain at one time. It was very, very painful. Was I had this tooth I took out. God, nearly I got an infection with one of my teeth, and it nearly sending me mad. And it was over the weekend. Couldn't get in touch with the dentist. When I got there, he said he couldn't take it out because it infected. Oh, try childbirth. Now, according to most national, no, I'm not going on. You see, we've been robbed. Us men have been robbed of the ability of giving birth to children. Something that we've never had the pleasure of being able to do. Yeah, it can't be as bad as man flu, can it, Robin? Surely not. And finally, here we go. Then let's before we get into a full-blown argument. Gee, God, it gets worse, doesn't it? Menial neuralgia. Right. There we go then. Question number 10. Which of Michael Jackson's singles spent the longest at #1 in the United Kingdom? So finally, which of Michael Jackson's singles spent the longest at #1 in the United Kingdom? I expect the most pain is when people inflict pain upon themselves, like when you have an accident. And I mean, I was only had a minor accident on my bike and duffed my shoulder and one of my ribs. What happens if you break about 6 ribs, half your sternum, both shoulders? You've got cuts on your head, shoulders, and knees. You've duffed your leg in, your ankle's shot. Now that must hurt. Surely a breech twins. Good God, it gets worse. No, we've started a thread here, haven't we? 3 induced labours were bad enough. Kicking the nuts is worse than childbirth. Well, I have to agree with you, Willie. I mean, Chilly. Mr. Willie. Having played football for many years, we did have the hefty leather football delivered into the parts of your body you don't want to at high velocity. And that can certainly knock the wind out of you for a few minutes. Never mind. Oh dear. Right then, do we need any repeats, or are we happy with all those? In which case, come on, let's put you all out your misery, and then you can carry on talking to each other about what's the most painful thing you've ever had done in your life. I have to say back and bum and teeth for me. Back, bum and teeth. There you go. St. Cross never allowed epidurals? Possibly not. Can't have been that bad, Julie, surely, was it? Having babies? You're built to have them. You know, it's not as if it's... I'll be in trouble now. Right then, let's go through these answers. Are we ready? Are we ready? Here we go. Tonight's anagram, glum backache pain. That was an easy one to work out. Famous building rebuilt. Apparently, the architect was John Nash, 1825. It was Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace. Question number 2. Which dance troupe, who became a regular feature on the Top of the Pops, originally took over from the Go-Go's in 1968? That was Pan's People. Number 3, which 3 letters did SOS replace as Morse code Mayday signal? That was quite interesting. That's CQD. CQD. CQ was a general call to all ships, and D was the distress signal. I'm going to argue about pain all night now. I can see it coming. If you were to come across the letters CG on an ordnance survey map, what would you be looking at? A cattle grid. A cattle grid. Number 5, the longest athletic race in the Olympic Games is the men's 50-kilometre walk. The men's 50-kilometre walk. Number 6, the item of confectionery that was advertised just enough to give your kids a treat was a fudge, of course. Number 7, the inferior planets are the 2 closest to the Sun. That's Venus and Mercury. Which would you find the Carolus Basin, a large impact crater? Well, it's got to be on Mercury. You can't even see Venus, can we? So Mercury was the answer. Number 8, the county I was after was Berkshire, where you're no more than 8.5 miles apparently from the M4, anywhere in Berkshire. Number 9, Patrick Moore had a fondness for playing the xylophone. And finally, number 10, Michael Jackson's single that spent the longest at the morn in the UK was Earth Song. Earth Song, so well done if you got that. Right, let's have some scores in CA Hall Fair tonight. It's been an interesting quiz. I am going away tomorrow to enjoy a few days freedom, but I've already written Sunday night's quiz. So Sunday night's quiz, very exciting quiz with some very tricky questions in there, but nothing like tonight. So we have Chilly Willy. He has added 7 to his score, so he's on a fantastic 54 points. Well done, Chilly. PRS ending up on 57.5. That's a great score. Harry Farnan on 50.5. That's a good score. Nicky Bowers on 49. Got Famous 5 on 55.5. Just pipping Chilly Willy there. Sarah and the gang are a very respectable 51.5 points. Well played them. And Jed and Tracy with a respectable 54 points. Well played them. Andrew Lewis, unfortunately, Andrew, 41.5. That's not a great day at the office, but never mind. Mick Roberts on a fantastic 50 points. We've got Ian Miller on 49 points. The Quizzy Rascals ending up with 60 points. That's going to take some beating. Michelle Gibbons on 54. Well done. Yeah, you always learn 1 or 2 things. There was some which you're never going to remember, but never mind. Harry Cage, Harry Julian in on 53.5. Well done. Home Alone ended up on 53 points. Anybody in the 50s has done really well tonight. The only AJB on 50.5. Closely followed by Martin Davis on 49. Julie's done very well. That was a dreadful round. Really good quiz, though. Enjoyed it. Thanks on 52 points. Well done, Julie. I think you were too much thinking about pain instead, but never know. Leslie Barrett's not telling. Split the Difference ended up on 58 points. Well played them. Pick a Mix on 50 points. And then everybody, the Booby Prize Girls ended up on 43 points. So well done, everybody. So winners tonight, which were last week's winners as well, or equal winners last week. The Quizzy Rascals, very well played them on 60 points. That's some going. They were closely followed by Split the Difference on 58 points, who just picked PRS into third place on 57.5 points. So well played them. And anybody's basically, I think, that were in the 50s tonight have done very, very well, all close to the 50s. So thanks everybody for taking part. I will be back refreshed after a few days away. Not saying that I'm in a particularly, mind you, I will be. I'll be all right. I've got to drive, haven't I? So I can't be beat. Oh yes, we're staying up. Don't worry about that. No. So I look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday night, and we will see whether we can. Yes, do enjoy the sun over the next few days. I hear the weather will be warmer tomorrow. We're expecting temperatures in the mid-20s tomorrow, and then Friday almost up into the 30s, and for some people 32 or 33 in London. So it's going to be a scorcher on Friday, and then of course Saturday it should drop back to a much more sensible temperature. So have a good week, enjoy the weather, and I'll look forward to seeing anybody that wants to come and quiz again on Sunday and see whether we can learn any more silly or interesting facts. Renzo Piano, that was always a good one, but never mind. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I'm signing off now, and we will see you another day. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Good night. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.